touchdown.
The route, and Randy Moss, without even really being able to run, as he shoots the moon to the
pass, pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure, fires to the end zone. It's caught! It's Greg Lewis! Oh my heavens! Greg Lewis's first catch has given the Minnesota.
Four, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is going on, Minnesota Viking fans? Welcome to another episode of House Calls brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I am the Skull Doc. Joining us, as always, is Dave. Dave, what a time, man. 14-2, sweeping the Packers, taking care of business, and one date with Detroit next Sunday night for all the marbles.
Of course, we totally expected this in April. We knew this the whole time. We'd be 14-2. No, this is great, man. Just so many things. It's just been incredible. We have the longest winning streak in the NFL right now. We're peaking at the absolute right time. We're feeling good about the way we're playing. Sam Darnold is playing MVP level. If this was another year, he'd be the talk of the town. But there's just there's a guy over there in Baltimore that is just running away with it. I feel. I'm sorry, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson's going to win this one, but just the fact that Sam Darnold went from also ran to top of the hill right now and just taking a team to 14-2 has just been incredible. Shout out to KOC and Kwesi and all the coaching staff to put this team together to make it perform this well.
It's just been surreal. It's been a hell of a ride. I've been trying to enjoy it as much as possible and not stay clenched the whole time through it, but it's hard, right? Because every game matters so much. So the blood pressure is always up. But I mean, what a response by the Minnesota Vikings to make it through, the 3 away game stretch that they had earlier this season. Then they played 3 home games. They took care of business there. Then they had to go on the road to Seattle in bad weather, and they took care of business there. Then they came home and they played a Green Bay Packer team that was getting all this love, right? They're getting far more love than the Minnesota Vikings by the national media. The Packers are so hot. They're peaking right now. Such a good team. And the Vikings dominate this game for a large portion of this game. It was strange how this game was almost an exact repeat of the last time where the Vikings had this huge lead. It's a blowout. It's not even close. And then the Packers score in garbage time 2 quick touchdowns to make it a 2-point game. But if you look at the win probability of that game, the Vikings were in sole possession the entire time. The Packers never had the ball with the chance to take the lead in that game. I mean, not to say that we weren't sweating it out at the end. We needed to convert that last first down, and KOC has brass balls, apparently. Took a page out of Case Keenum's book with the play calls that he had to, put the game on Sam Darnold's shoulders, and he delivered it, man. So 14-2, your Minnesota Vikings with a chance for the number 1 seed in the NFC, home field advantage. And by the way, the Detroit Lions just finished a very physical football game on Monday Night Football. They're going to have short rest. The Vikings are going to come in. That defense is decimated. I like our chances.
Yeah. And we just talked about that pregame is that, a short week, they put a lot on tape. Of course, we'll probably talk about that here at the end. Could you could feel free to talk about something for a little bit? As you probably can hear, my dog is absolutely going ape shit, and I hate that little SOP right now. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. Yeah. So let's just talk about the Packers game, the recap. So going into that game, I think the biggest thing was you have to be able to stop the running back, Josh Jacobs. He's just been on a tear. He's been very good as of late. The Packers have been dominating the running game. And when the Vikings did what they do, man, they stopped the run. Sure, the Packers got a few here and there, 5-6 yards, but on the whole, the Vikings did a great job stopping the run, putting Green Bay in third and long situations, and Jordan Love just looked bad for 3 quarters. I think he had 60 passing yards in the third quarter compared to Sam Darnold 300 passing yards. Dave, we're just talking about how Jordan Love looked bad through 3 quarters. I mean,
Oh
just
yeah, honestly, he was missing people. He was inaccurate.
he still off his back foot way too much, unnecessarily.
Yeah, so he's got a lot. He's got a lot of warts, man. When it comes to delivering the ball accurately, there's just times like, how did you miss that guy by so much? How did you do that? How did you miss that guy by so much? But you're right. He's not driving the ball.
Mhm.
Uh, he's kind of flicking it out there sometimes. There's a lot of plays he leaves on, out on the field. He just doesn't. It's there's a lot. He's good. There's a lot good about him, but he just takes a nosedive on accuracy, and it seems to do it against us a lot. Now, throw out the fourth quarter of that first game we played. Other than that, he's just never very accurate with us against us.
Yeah, I agree. Now his receivers did drop a lot of balls. That's an issue that they have. And remember
Yeah,
their
that's another
thing,
thing.
remember their thing going into the season. Do you remember a graphic? You probably saw this where they ranked the weapons of the NFC North and they ranked the Packers number 1 and the Vikings number 2 and the Bears number 3. And I forget who did this, somebody on ESPN or something. But
Lions were fourth.
yeah. Yep. And they said the reasoning was that the Packers weapons are just so deep, right? They run so deep. And then when it came to the Bears and the Vikings, they're like, "Ooh, it's close. They're almost tied, but Justin Jefferson counts as 2 because he's so good." My point is that there were people arguing that the Packers, despite not having a superstar wide receiver, had a better wide receiver core than the Minnesota Vikings because it was deeper. And Matthew Collar was a big proponent of saying that's a crock of shit. And I agreed with him. I was like, dude, you have Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the league, who accounts so much towards winning football games. You cannot compare guys like Jaden Reed, Christian Watson to someone like Justin Jefferson. Shit, you can't even compare those guys to Jordan Addison right now.
You mean
So
Christian Watson, who has more potential than Justin Jefferson, has a higher ceiling than Justin
yeah,
Jefferson?
and now the newest thing from Peter Bukowski is that Jaden Reed is better than Jordan Addison.
Oh God, I
Yeah,
saw that
go
too.
find that. No,
I
he's
saw
fucking
that
not.
too.
No, he's fucking not, Peter. Shut the hell up. You're an idiot.
Dude, some of these takes that you're seeing, and that former quarterback that plays Madden for he was talking about how the Packers or the Vikings. Well, he's got that one right. Vikings, Packers, and maybe the Eagles are the team to beat. And I'm like, the Packers, the 7th seed, are the team to beat.
Yeah, Burkhardt, I
Come
think,
on,
or
I
something
I,
said
I
that.
put them I put them in the same tier as Tampa,
Yeah,
the Packers. Don't you?
yeah, Tampa
And maybe
and the
Tampa's got
Rams.
better, receiver core and quarterback.
I think that's perfect. I think that the Packers, the Bucks, and the Rams are kind of all in that tier.
Right.
And then you got the Eagles, the Lions, and the Vikings in that tier. And the Commanders, that's tough because
They're scary, They're
yeah,
they'll be a little scary.
I guess they're still in that Packers. I would rather play the Commanders than the
They'd be the
Packers.
top of that second tier. The
You place them over the Packers?
uh
I don't. I
not
don't think their defense is as good.
yeah, you're probably right. You're
You
probably
hear
right.
my dog whining now?
No. But my dog's got me trained now. Anytime he hears me go live with you or recorded with you, he just starts
Yeah.
barking, knowing I'm gonna go get him.
Yeah.
Never done that before until my wife and kid went to Panama for Christmas. But Josh Jacobs, all we heard is how great he was. 17 carries for 69 yards. 4.1. Now people are complaining about he got robbed on that touchdown because their right tackle bear hugged Ivan Pace. I think it was Ivan Pace Jr.
Oh, that's a hold. That's a hold.
Just fucking tackled him.
Yeah.
Literally, you see his arms jet out and then grab like the claw machine.
Yeah.
And take him down on the ground.
His hands were outside and he pulled them. That's a hold.
Yeah.
They can't complain. That team does not get called for very many holding calls, and they hold quite a bit.
There was bad calls on both sides in that game.
Yeah, yeah. The field goal sides was bullshit. They were not offsides. And then the Jalen Redmond call when he flinched but didn't even move, like that was bullshit.
He wasn't even the closest one to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was complete bullshit.
He was like third.
There was a play against Byron Murphy where they called him for PI, and he wasn't even touching the receiver. That was complete garbage. Shit, I thought Nixon could have been called for PI on the Jordan Addison deep ball when he jumped into Addison in the touchdown. I thought that was kind of close. I was fine with them not calling it. I was like, okay, they're going to let him play. But then if you're going to let him play, let him fucking play, right? Don't call ticky-tack type stuff.
And Harrison Smith penalty, the guy, he hit him in the fucking numbers.
Yeah, he hit him like in the upper thigh and then slid down.
Slid to his thigh. But he hit him in the numbers with his shoulder and then slid to the thigh. I mean, that's completely legal hit. And even the whatever Serator, I don't know, the guy in the booth said it was all fine.
Did you see Jonathan Grenard's tweet about being pissed off about the cut blocks? So Jonathan Grenard was pissed off and quote tweeted a play where Tucker Kraft came in motion and then cut Patrick Jones. Patrick Jones, and that's where Jones got hurt. And Grenard specifically said that he thought it was bullshit that he motioned over from like 30 yards to get ahead of steam to do it. I think that's important because the Packer fans kind of caught that tweet and were like, wait a minute, you guys hit us with the same block twice with Johnny Munt coming on the same cross-action cut block there. I think the difference was that Johnny Munt didn't get a head start in motion. He got a start on the snap of the ball with the cut block. A small difference. But anyways, Jonathan Grenard's point is just that not that play was illegal. He's just saying that it shouldn't be legal. We need to outlaw that cut block. He said it's just dangerous for defensive ends.
Yeah, I mean, I played football and I had to switch to the line because we didn't have anybody. And boy, I had to, and I lived within the tackles though, so it was completely legal. It'd be illegal in the NFL today. But yeah, I had to go low a lot. But these guys are, big dudes. They should be able to block and not have to go at people's knees and shit all the time. You're not undersized. I could get if like a fullback or a tailback had to make a block on a guy as big as Jones, but you're a tight end coming like that. You should be able to square a guy up a little bit.
So then LaFleur went into like a dissertation today, like literally 5-minute speech on why those blocks are imperative and why we shouldn't outlaw them. And, saying that it really slows down the defensive end and makes them think. And if you get rid of that, they're just going to be screaming at your quarterback. And, you're going to have issues with keeping that quarterback healthy going forward. So there were some good points that he brought forward, but I see both sides of it where as a defensive end, it sucks when your teammate gets his knee injured on a low cut block like that.
And there's thoughts that he'll be back this Sunday, right? I almost don't want him back if he's not ready. But and we're always very conservative of bringing a guy back.
Yeah, they made it seem like he may miss this game, but they could have him back for the playoffs. Is the way that I interpreted it.
Which gives Dallas Turner more play, and he's coming out, man. He's breaking out.
He's looking good. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, in a limited amount of time, he is just as far as prorated quality of play is just as good as any edge rusher that's came out this year in the draft, and he's younger, and so he's shown quite a bit.
Any other thoughts from the Packers game? We've talked about how Jordan Love didn't look good. We should talk more about Sam Darnold in the game that he had career high,
Jesus.
377 yards, 3 touchdowns, of which absolute dimes. I mean, the Naylor touchdown wide open, but still a dime. The Jordan Addison route and throw was a thing of beauty. Just
Time on that touchdown.
amazing. Yes. The hitch
Yeah.
route
Oop,
where
oop.
he hesitates and then he loops back over with a whirl route. And it's just like, wow, that was beautiful.
That
And then he
was
puts it
sweet.
right over his shoulder. Jordan Addison plucks it and then kind of spins so that the ball doesn't hit the ground and lands on his back. I mean, just a thing of absolute beauty. The pass blocking for the Minnesota Vikings in this game was outstanding. Dalton Reisner should get a game ball. That guy was nails. He was awesome against Kenny Clark. He had his ass stalemated all game long. Brian O'Neill, awesome. Blake Brandel got beat a few times, but he lost slowly enough to where Sam could move around. Cam Robinson didn't notice him. Must have played pretty well. Garrett Bradbury didn't grade the best, but I mean,
yeah, he got beat a little. He got ragdolled a little bit there. But Sam is his awareness in the pocket, is his climb in the pocket. Now he looked antsy to begin the game. He was dancing like nervously, but he settled down real good, and the rest of the game was just beautiful footwork. Was getting up in the pocket, getting set, making plays. Uh, he's got a freaking cannon. There's a play where Justin Jefferson is just being like a guy's he's wearing a defender like a coat. He's right on top of him. He doesn't have his right arm, and he literally threw the ball so hard it caught Justin Jefferson,
yeah.
and he was able to snatch it and got that catch. But it should have been PI. But he just threw it so hard that Justin Jefferson had to catch it. It's pretty impressive. Sam Darnold just blossoming at the right time, and the reaction after the game. And people are cracking on us like, oh, you just your Super Bowl. No, we just swept our division rivals, took over the division. Sam Darnold had like 4 records broken that game, threw for 377 yards and 3 touchdowns. In a game we were in some cases underdogs. To some people, we were power ranked behind them, even though we've beaten them and had 2 more wins than them in some cases. Not getting any love. Everybody's talking about the pack. Yeah, shit, yeah, we're gonna be freaking happy. It lasted 20 seconds, and we started handing out game balls.
Yeah, so I think we're talking about Woodward Sports Network.
Oh yeah,
on Twitter at Woodward
leveled that.
Sports, where they had that tweet that you were referencing that looked at the Vikings celebrating and then said, would you guess that they A, won the Super Bowl, or B, I forget what the other options were, beat the third best team in the division or something like that.
Yeah.
And I quoted them and I was like, this is goofy fucking behavior to be gatekeeping happiness. It's just goofy. You know what I mean? Like, the Lions fans all season long have been very, very frustrated with the success of the Vikings because they expected the Vikings to be bad this year. And it's really pissing them off that they're this damn good and that they're threatening the division. And they are scared. The Lions fans are scared for next week. They have this nervous energy, like this cocky, nervous energy, like they're playing it off like, oh, we're going to win. It's fine. Like, we're going to win. The Vikings are the most fraudulent 14-win team ever. But dude, this week is setting up really well for the Vikings to go in there and beat this Detroit team. Really well.
Since you read your response, mine was, how about swept our fucking rival and took the division lead? Not bad for a team predicted to finish 4th in the division with a bust at QB. Dude broke like 4 records during the game. These haters suck. A little late. Someone else also put, Honolulu Blues, Sam Darnold and the Vikings just won a game. LOL. I'm like, Lions did a hype video of their receivers blocking effort and a loss, showing it in a team meeting, they literally celebrated trying hard. So I mean, like, come on, dude, we just took the division.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Now they got it because
We're gonna
I'm
take
tiebreaker. But
yeah.
anyways,
We'll be
we
taking
almost
that
took the
division real fucking soon. Tell you that.
We're about to.
We're about to.
Have I not? I don't think I've ever felt as good about a game with such importance. And we can talk about it. Is you know they they're a short week. They just put so much so much good stuff for us to see on tape. Um, shout out to San Francisco. I mean, Purdy threw for like 370 against them. They had 470 yards offense, I think, or something like that against them. It's like this is that defense is exposed. All we have to do is have a average day at defense for us. I think we win that game.
Don't turn the football over. Kirby Joseph
True.
will pick that football off. He showed that tonight. The Lions are going to blitz you on third down, and they're going to play man coverage. You know that. That's what they did all night. The announcer said it. We know they're going to do that. Fourth down package. Cover Amon-Ra St. Brown. He wants to throw the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Make sure Gibbs doesn't pop one, right? These are your defensive keys. And if you can stop the Lions just a few times, they're going to score. They're a good offensive team. The game's in Detroit. They're going to score. But you're going to have to score more than them. This is going to be a shootout game. It just is. And I think that the Vikings can score more than them. Brock Purdy just put up 377. I'm sorry, but Sam Darnold's a better thrower of the football than Purdy is. The Vikings have more offensive weapons right now than the 49ers do. The Vikings should go in to Ford Field and score 40 points. They should score 40 plus this week.
And that's a good point, because why do we feel like we move the ball? We have 70 plays a game now. Why aren't we scoring more? It just seems odd that we're not scoring more. And I think we don't. I don't know. I just running the ball on 2nd and 10. I just feel like we don't go for the jugular enough. We don't push the ball down the field enough. When we can, it's like we take a drive. We get conservative on one drive. I just don't want that to happen anymore. I feel like this is a team that could just put the pedal to the metal, go no huddle, catch them off guard. I just feel like it's like the Packers did to us down at the goal line. When we call timeout, we have 2-3 guys running off the field because they caught us in a substitution. Call fucking timeout. We need to be doing that to we need to be doing that to people. I know we did it once or twice in that game, but we need to catch people off guard, get them on their heels, have them reeling. I do like the trade-off, because I've complained over the past few years of not having enough like outlet routes and stuff for the quarterback. The trade-off of his big playability of having people go downfield and throwing it deep consistently, and having your running back blocking is a good trade-off. It is working. So I'm not as big as complaining about that anymore, but there is occasions where we're holding the ball a little too long. But if the offensive line can do what they did this last game, it will, against the Lions, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings this year, by the way, you were talking about their winning streak earlier. It's pretty crazy. 9 games. It's pretty crazy to think that 9-game winning streak is longer than any winning streak they had when they won 15 games in 98. So they have a bigger winning streak this year than they did in 98. Heard that on Score
We had
North
7
today.
and 22, right? I think it was about 7 and 22, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this is a pretty big one.
But this team, what's special about this team is that they can win in a variety of ways. We've seen them win low-scoring games. We've seen them win shootouts. They've won all different types of ways. They can win with defense. They can win with offense. So part of the reason I think that we haven't really seen the Vikings put up continually a ton of points is just game script sometimes. just the type of game that they get into. Sometimes it's turnovers, but lately they haven't been really turning the football over, which has been great. But they against the Packers, I mean, they could have easily scored upper 30s in that game, make your field goals. You know what I mean? The way the game script went, they just they slowed down because they're up by 17 in the third quarter type of thing. You try to run more clock. You're not trying to, track sprint, make a mistake and throw a pick, which we ended up doing. Kind of got the Packers back into the game a little bit. But no, I'm just confident as hell going into this game. I'm more confident that the Vikings are going to win this next game in Detroit than I was that they were going to beat the Packers this week in Minnesota. Where are you on that?
I won't necessarily go that far, but it's pretty even. But I feel better. I feel more sure of a victory in Detroit, and it's a road game, so that's probably the tiebreaker for me. That yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go there because we were playing the Packers at home, and I don't have a whole lot of faith in Love, but I do have a lot more faith in Goff and that offensive line there. So it's like but I do feel like we got the advantage with the the short week, the injuries on defense. I just feel like the way San Francisco just moved the ball at will at them most of the game. We could easily do that. We could so easily do that. And speaking of missed field goals, I lost my game. I lost my fantasy championship by
You did?
fucking 3.
I won.
Point fucking 3.
That sucks,
And
dude.
Achan from Miami
4.8.
at 5.7 points at half and ended with 5.8.
Yeah.
I needed 3.
4.8.
I needed 4 freaking yards. Aaron Jones gets benched in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
We get a holding penalty. And Justin Jefferson, gets an amazing catch called back, and Reichard misses 2 effing field goals. I just needed 4 yards from anybody, or a field goal, or a catch. I win that championship. I'm so pissed.
I won 178 to 147, and my opponent had Caleb Williams shit the bed, so it feels pretty good.
Dude, man, it was 0.32 or something like that I lost by.
Tough break, dude.
And I went to bed winning, thinking I won. There was a score correction. They forgot the block field goal for a touchdown in Tampa.
Oh wow. Tough.
I thought I had won. I even tweeted out that I won my championship last night.
Tough break, man. That's all right.
I quit. I quit. I'm not playing fantasy football no more, man. Oh, but hey, shout out to my boy Jalen Naylor. 5 catches, 81 yards, 1 TD. Looked amazing.
He looked great. Caught the fucking football.
He's been doing okay lately. There was a stretch there for 3 games, but that one play where he scores a touchdown, holy crap! He had T.J. Hawkinson, he had Justin Jefferson wide ass open. He says, "You know what? I think Naylor is going to be open in the deep end zone," and he leads him and basically throws it to the open spot and just in the air. You see Justin Jefferson going, "What? Oh, yep. Touchdown!"
Yep.
And you're like, "What? Like, did that just happen?" That's the kind of freaking just evolution in Sam Darnold's arsenal that it's just growing and growing. That he's seeing shit like that and going with it. Now there's occasions where it's like, I don't have enough time. I'm going to hit the shorter route, first down. Justin Jefferson's maybe not broken his route yet, but I'll take that. But when he had enough time and he's like, you know what? These 2 guys are open, but Naylor's a touchdown. That's incredible.
Yeah, great game from Naylor. Caught all of his targets, scored a touchdown. That's what we need from him. Be that outlet that's open because everyone else is covered. Still need TJ Hawkinson to kind of pop up here. He had that awesome seam route and catch. That was awesome. I'd like to see more of that from him. I think it's more to do with Sam than it is with TJ in terms of getting him involved.
Well, I mean, like I just said, he was open on that. Him and
Mhm.
Justin were both open on that, and he went to Naylor instead.
But
So
he threw it at
there's yeah, it's like too many people are open.
yeah, he threw it at TJ for that interception. Bad read by Darnold. Shouldn't have
Yeah,
thrown that ball.
and he had pressure in his face, but holy shit, what a throw! It's like he couldn't really step into that ball, and he threw it on a rope. But yeah, it was a bad. It was the guy played it perfectly. Yeah, nice hands for a cornerback. That was a great interception. Shout out to CJ Ham and Akers for closing out the game. I tweeted that someone said who deserves a game ball last night, and I was like Akers for making that catch.
Yeah, dude.
Today I said I threw my back out watching that because he's like and he caught it. Oh Jesus, what could have happened if he didn't catch that ball? Oh, been nervous. They would have had like a minute 30, 40 left with a timeout. I think if he doesn't catch that, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
All they would need was a field goal.
I mean, let's just take a second and think about where this team is right now. We have a chance to get home field advantage for the playoffs. Number 1 seed. You win 2 games at home. You host the NFC Championship game to get into the Super Bowl. That's just I can't fathom that right now. This game in Detroit is so big. Unfathomably big. That's a tough fucking word to say. It's so important, man. Like, not to say that this team can't win on the road. It's just hard to win 3 games on the road to get to the Super Bowl. It's really hard. If you could host 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, it's such a big freaking deal.
Yeah, I know teams have done it. I think, but I don't want to be one of them. I want that home field. I want that. We're a healthy team. And I don't know how great we're off of bye weeks. We've had some history of not being so great. Different coach, different team. Every team every year is different. This late in the season, a bye week would probably be very welcome.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be very welcome. It just just to be the healthy team coming into a game like that and at home, just to mean a hell of a lot. Plus, you just need one less game to get to the championship. What would be crazy if we had to face the Lions again, right? I would be rooting for Tampa for sure. But yeah, just there's so many. It's just the last time we were a 1 seed was probably 98, I guess. 15-1.
Yeah.
This will be the second time we won 15 games. Hell, some of the records. Sam Darnold, first quarterback in Vikings history to win 14 games in a season. I think probably Kirk Cousins did 13 and 22. I want to say Randall Cunningham started 13 games in 98 as the first year as a QB. And I mean, freaking Brett Favre, I think only had 12. I think they went 12-4 that year in 2009. So yeah, I think it's probably Cunningham and Cousins that he beat. I don't think there's first year as a not. It wasn't first year. It was any. I think it was any. Any Viking quarterback, right? 14 wins. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He'd already beat
crazy.
the most wins by a first year Viking. He had already won that, but.
Anything else to cover about the Packers game? I think we pretty much touched on everything. Just always great to beat the Packers. Phenomenal to sweep them. I think this is the first time in a while that we swept them.
Yeah, I mean, there was a stretch where we had a 10-game lead on these guys because they suck so bad in the 80s. So
Right.
now we're like 9 games back of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you look back here, we got 3 more division titles than them. It would be nice to put up a 20th here.
Shit, dude, they had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play. Like, for us to even be within 10 games is pretty remarkable, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they were so bad in the 80s and early, before Favre came there, late
Yeah.
70s, early 80s. You know what? And these Packer fans with, talk to me when you win a Super Bowl, and I'm like, okay, the guys you're that are talking shit probably were only seeing one of them,
Right.
and and so you had two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and you only won two.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of wasted fucking seasons there
Well,
that
it's the
you could have.
same thing with the Bears, like with 85, right? They got the one Super Bowl. They've been around for 105 years. They got one Super Bowl. And it's like, shit, all these people my age, they didn't see it, you know? Like that
I
stuff
saw it.
just doesn't bother me. Like the fact that the Vikings don't have a Super Bowl and when they try to rub that in your face, it doesn't bother me. Like
I'm like, KOC is gonna
dude,
have
my
four.
team, the Vikings, the team that I root for, they win a fuck ton of games and it's fun. I have a lot more fun Sundays than I have bad Sundays, right? I'd
Yep.
absolutely have more fun. I have had more fun as a Vikings fan than a lot of my friends who are Bears fans have had in my lifetime because the Bears have been really bad for a long time. They've
They're
had like
so bad.
one or two good seasons, but I mean, we talk about how bad the Lions have been in our lifetime. The Bears are not that much better. I mean, they've been to a Super Bowl in '05, right? They lost to the Colts, but at least they made it to a Super Bowl. I have yet to watch the Vikings play in a Super Bowl. So, they have some moments for sure that kind of keep them going, but I think I saw that they only have like 2 winning seasons the last 10 years. That's tough.
Well, one of the things with where I feel so happy about is KOC. Okay, first season 13 wins, second, third season 15, potentially 15 wins. If we, if you win three Super Bowls, it's a dynasty, right? So it's like, how fast can we get to three, KOC? Because I feel very good about our future and what he and I think it really, and there's gonna be just an overwhelming, I don't know, argument coming up here. I know like some of the media guys are starting to like warm up to bringing back Sam Darnold, but they were warming up to Cousins when he was bringing us back for three straight wins and reversing course, and then he tore his Achilles, and then all of a sudden he's a shit quarterback again to him. So I think once the season's done, if we don't win a Super Bowl, they're going to turn back on him. There's going to be guys in Sam's court. There's going to be guys that I did a poll that says JJ McCarthy no matter what. 60% said JJ McCarthy no matter what Sam does, no matter what we end the season at. So I think that might have changed because that was about 5-6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it's just I want more of that. Shoot that shit in my veins, that celebration at the end of that game. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna cry either way. I get it. I
It's just
get
not
it.
time to talk about it.
I get it. So I'm like, let me love this.
Yeah, we need to
fucking love
enjoy
this.
this.
I had so much shit I wanted to like tell people, like, hey, don't you think we need to get rid of Sam about right now? Wouldn't JJ McCarthy win more games? I could talk so much shit. I don't do it because I'm just fucking enjoying it
Yeah.
right now. Sam Darnold is I've never reversed on a player so fast and so the other way as
Yeah.
I had Sam Darnold. And I am not ashamed. People try to throw that in my face, and I'm like, yeah, by week 3, I was Sam Fever, and I changed my mind, which is something some people just can't do about a player. I'm total awe of the way he's transformed. And even when he was struggling, I was like, no, I see it too much here that he can fix that, and KOC can get that straight. And I kept referencing the Ram season, and he did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
There's going to be so much time to talk about the Sam
Yeah.
Darnold situation and what to do, but until this season is over, we're just doing ourselves a disservice by talking about it. I mean, immediately after the Vikings beat the Packers, even at halftime of that game, the Vikings are crushing the Packers at halftime, and they're talking about Sam Darnold. They're not talking about the 14-2 Minnesota Vikings who have a shot at the number 1 seed, a legitimate chance to go to the Super Bowl this year. They're talking about Sam Darnold's contract and what they should do with JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold. And do you sign him to an extension or you franchise tag him. Guys, let's slow down and enjoy the goddamn ride right now. Seriously. But the
there's a
media is going to
writer
talk.
for Vikings territory that was writing as, this is why we need to move on from Sam, even though we just. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
stop.
just
Please,
it's
God,
not
just
time right
stop.
now. We have so much time for that, but not right now.
I would, just keep this core together. I believe in Windows. I do believe in planning for the future. I do think Kwesi does that. I do think we need to. I think the key would be to draft better and to have picks. And I think in the future, starting 26, 27, 28, we'll be fine there. It's gonna suck. I know for some people it's gonna suck that we're gonna be picking 32nd. That's no way to build a franchise picking 32, right? We're gonna pick 32. I feel like I feel like we got the team that can do it. I'm not calling a shot or anything, but I've felt really good about teams. 09, 98, even 2017. I felt like, holy crap, we got something here. Eagles just pulled out a game of their lifetime against us. 22, I didn't feel this way. No one felt this way. Our defense was not good enough. Our defense is good enough now, and we got all the weapons, or as good of weapons as 22. Our line's playing better. We got better coaches developing these guys. Just everything's in place. We probably we could have used a few more pieces, but 72 million in dead cap hit because we made a choice on getting rid of some vets and it turned out to be good, right? It turned out to be good. And you can win a game, you can win 14 games with $72 million wasted on nothing.
Right.
And still build a team and put a good defense together and keep that offense. And it shows you what coaching can do. And hitting on Sam, hitting on all these free agents, just throwing the mix of those, drafting better and getting deeper. We're already hitting UDFAs like crazy. They're like, who is not a UDFA in our team?
Yep.
It's like it's just so many good things are happening. And that's why I feel like, hey, we get that first one, we're gonna get 3.
KOC exec of the year, KOC coach of the year.
Yeah.
Literally. I think both of them can win it.
We might have assistant coach of the year. I think there's a rule for that too, maybe.
Yeah.
Flores. I think there is.
Yeah. I mean, just unbelievable staff here. And then you look across the border.
Pro Bowl, I'm sure.
You look, there's a lot of stuff that was coming out today about the Bears head coaching search and about the McCaskies kind of meddling with that process and, putting Ryan Poles at the head, but also giving Kevin Warren a seat at the table. And just seems like there's this power struggle there. And it does not seem like it's going to trend well.
My tire guy's a Packer fan. I get out of my car. I'm decked in Vikings gear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets out and he goes, and I start talking to him and he's like, we got to get Johnson. Yep.
You mean he's a Bears fan?
Johnson.
You mean he's a Bears fan?
Last thing I want.
You said he's a Packers fan. Do you mean he's a Bears fan?
Bears fan. I said Bears, I thought.
Oh, they said Packers.
My tire guy is a Bears fan.
Yeah,
I might have said it. I don't know.
We've talked about this. I think Ben Johnson is the guy for them to, make that right. But they need a line to protect Caleb. Ben Johnson can draw up some sexy stuff, but if you can't protect him,
it's easy when you got a fucking great line, right?
Yep. Well,
we'll have so much to talk about this offseason. It's going to be a freaking amazing offseason, but I don't want the season to end just quite yet.
Absolutely, man. It's been a fun ride.
Whatever the date the Super Bowl is, that's when I want it to end with us hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. It's going to get its name changed to the O'Connell Trophy.
Yeah. I mean, let's call this episode, and we're going to have a preview episode of the biggest Minnesota Vikings game in how many freaking years? I mean, huge game.
I think it was almost 100% when I put out is this the biggest regular season game in Vikings history?
Yeah. In my opinion, your chance to win the Super Bowl increases drastically if you win this game. And if you don't win the game, it's going to be pretty low. Not to say that it's not impossible, but it's going to be a much harder road to climb. There's a scenario where, I mean, Green Bay is going to have to go out and play Philadelphia. That's the way that it's looking right now. So if Green Bay can upset the Eagles, I actually think that's a great thing for the Vikings, because that means if the Vikings get the 1 seed, you're playing Green Bay again at home coming off a
Because they
bye.
reseed, right?
Yes, you play the lowest seed. So we just beat them at home. I'd be very happy with that matchup to play them again at home. You beat them, you're probably looking at, the winner of the Bucks versus the Lions, the Rams, who cares? Like, you're at home. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's a scenario where you could play the Packers and the Lions at home in the playoffs.
The way we played on the road and at home and in London, I'm like, London was a little tougher, but I feel like, bring it on. I don't care.
Bring it on.
It's like,
Don't be
what the
scared.
hell?
Yeah. Send us everybody.
I mean, we score 60, 80 more points than the Kansas City Chiefs. It's like,
Yeah.
and everybody's talking about them, and Mahomes is an MVP candidate. That's bullshit. It's name factor, but it's like we're pinnacling. We're hitting the summit right now, and Lions are still hanging on there. They're still scoring points, but I don't see them doing that to us like they just did. And the way we played them the last game, in every game where we've came out and made adjustments, just be even or better going into half, and we're going to win that game. And again, like you said, turnovers, and we've a turnover in every game this year. Still,
Yep.
only
Still
team.
got it going. Yep.
There's one other team I think that had just every game but one, but we're the team that has every game.
Yep.
All right, man. Anything else?
Nothing else. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a great episode. Tune in later this week. We're going to have a preview game for the Lions game. Let's go Vikes. Skol.
Skol, baby.